Good afternoon. Yes, you're right. London Bridge was actually planned back in the 1960s, which is a long time ago, and reviewed annually since then. So it has been modernised and has been improved on. But when you mention the sharpshooters, this is one of the biggest events in modern day history in the UK. It's one of the biggest events. I can't remember anything bigger. There's a huge threat from terrorism. There's also threats from fixated individuals, because you do have individuals who may have mental health issues, may be obsessed by the royal family, and they're the kind of people who will jump over walls or vault over gates. So they have to be watched out for as well. And the third big threat that is still there is protesters, because although we all respect and acknowledge what a great job the Queen did for all of us in this country, there are some individuals who will be protesting for whatever reasons.
How do you plan and prepare and rehearse for unforeseen events like the three examples you've just given us? How do you do that?
What happens is there are many, many ceremonial events all the year round, and each one is almost like a mini event. So risks that become apparent are then fed into the bigger plan. So where you have risks of protesters and the changing methods of protesters, even people putting flags on buildings and banners or gluing themselves to various implements, chairs or roads or whatever it is, that's all fed back into the main plan. So that plan can evolve and can take into account different types of risks, because obviously, when the Queen took her throne, there weren't the risks of protesters that there are. And nowadays, it was a different type of protest. And also the terrorism, there will be road closures, there will be airport-style scanning of people's luggage and whatever they take into venues. That didn't exist back in the day, and that has been built on through experience of many other smaller events.
If for those people, those members of the public that are intending to travel, to pay their respects over the next few days, what advice would you give to them to keep themselves safe, but also to help the police do their job?
What I would say to anybody who is going to travel into London to pay their respects is to take as little as possible with them. Because not only will they be targeted by criminals who are going to be trying to steal their wallets, their phones and whatever else, but also it will help with the searching regime. If you take too much stuff with you, it'll slow down the searching process. And if you're waiting 20 hours and you haven't had a rest, you haven't had a break, you haven't had a chance to sit down, you want to get through that security system as quickly as possible. So it helps you and it also helps the police. But in addition, I would say be vigilant. Look around you and take note of who's around you and what are they doing. And if you see anything at all that looks suspicious, that may disrupt the respectful paying respects to the Queen, then let somebody know, alert individuals around you. So be vigilant yourself, look after your own property, look after yourself, but also look after the people around you.
And Parm, does there come a stage with public transport as well where the authorities will have to say, this actually cannot go any further? There are so many people that we have to shut the stations and stop people travelling just for public safety?
There will be public safety issues because some of the road closures around the buildings will be to stop cars getting in, will be to stop people getting in that shouldn't be in there. But that will also apply to public transport. If you've got huge amounts of congestion on tubes and trains, they will be stopped at an earlier station and people will be expected to walk through because that is safer. But you will have British Transport Police working. They will be monitoring those systems, as will all the transport companies, because it won't just be the Metropolitan Police who are policing this event. It will be officers from up and down the country who will be brought into the capital. There aren't enough firearms officers, there aren't enough dogs, there aren't enough mounted officers, there aren't enough search teams. So it will be the whole country pulling together to make sure that this is a safe environment for people to pay their respects.